Hi, this is Becky Shulo, and welcome to my channel where I share videos on how to market your art specifically to a niche audience. So the last video was really a regroup on this series as I had taken a break for some personal matters. I just moved. So that took me off track a little bit, but we're back on track. So we're jumping back into my 7 steps to a niche marketing strategy. I offer a free guide on this topic, and you can get that in the notes below. I'll have a link for that. If you're just starting with us, I also will have a link to the first video in the series so you can get caught up. In this 7 steps to a niche marketing strategy, one of my steps, and the one that we're in now, is focusing on your web presence. So I like to talk about the field of dreams. I'll talk about it more as we get into some steps later down the line here. But if you remember the famous quote from that movie, build it and they will come. So let's assume you're going to build your website and people are going to visit it, right? But we want to make sure that once they come, that we're prepared to receive them. Obviously, they want to look at your work, maybe see what kind of events you have going on. So that's what this step is all about, making sure that you're prepared for all of those visitors and that audience that we're going to be working on attracting later down in later steps. And so today specifically, we're going to talk about an area, and you probably aren't even going to believe me, but this is where a lot of artists drop the ball, and that is the contact area, which seems so obvious, right? Of course, you think, well, everybody's going to have a contact page on their website. But I'm here to tell you, as someone that looks at a lot of artist websites, I'm not going to say it's the majority, but you would probably be surprised how many times I visit a site and there isn't any way to contact the artist. So I'm here today first just to remind you, please have a way for people to get in touch with you. Even if it's just offering your email, there needs to be something. Now, that being said, and I assume most of you have some place where they can contact you, let's talk next about making the most of that contact information. So a basic contact page is going to be pretty simple, right? It's going to look like this. We're going to probably have a form, which most website platforms allow you to do. I also recommend, in addition to that, let's add a little bit of a message. And under this red line is this artist's, just for privacy purposes, I'm just going to do this, but this is her email address. Some artists like to share their email in that way. Some prefer to keep it to the contact page. I actually recommend also adding your email because I'll explain why in a minute. This artist didn't want to add her phone number, but I do recommend, if you're willing to take phone calls, please add your phone number. And then, of course, anywhere they can find you on social media. The important thing to realize here is that you need to meet people where they are. So everybody has a preferred method of communicating. So some people like to send emails. Some people like to DM through social media, and some people like to just pick up the phone. Believe it or not, I'm not one of those people, but some people still like to use the phone. And in that case, you want to be ready for them. So I do recommend that you give every option possible that you can for them to contact you. We don't want them to get discouraged, go away, and then forget about it. Some other things to think about when it comes to your contact page and your contact information is that in addition to the page, I would recommend adding that information wherever you can. So that means add it to other pages on your website, maybe your about page, maybe your gallery or portfolio, of course, any printed materials, and on those social media sites, because not everybody likes to DM through these platforms. So let's offer another way for them to get in touch with you. So that's really it today. We're talking about web presence. So your homework is just go take a look at your website, go take a look at your social media profiles, and let's make sure that in all of those spaces, you're offering adequate contact information. Oh, and that also includes e-commerce sites, if you're selling on Fine Art America or somewhere else, even in the about information, you can offer your contact email or phone number, again, whatever you're comfortable with. So please do that this week. And one more thing I wanted to mention is that I do offer an artist website review service. This is where you will give me some information about your art business or your career goals, and I take that and do a full review of your website and come back with detailed feedback and recommendations for change to make sure that your site is in line with your vision and ready for your audience so that you're not missing out on any opportunities. I will also put a link in the notes below where you could get more information on that. And again, you're going to find those other links that I talked about. So that's it for today. I will see you next time, and let's go shore up that contact page. It's more important than you might think.